bank account and customer management system. The reason why I'm giving you this assignment is that I want to use this as a way to teach you guys object-oriented programming. So I want us to do this procedurally, and then when we are doing OOP, we will now revisit this exercise and do it in object-oriented programming. That's the idea. So we can have problem or what the client said they want. So I say create a simple bank account and customer management system in Python. The system should allow for the creation of bank accounts which stores information such as account name, balance, account number. Then it should also perform basic operations on the account like depositing money, withdrawal, and checking balance. Okay, I want to highlight the requirement so it will help us to bring out some things out of the problem that we'll put out there. For the requirements, you should build a series of functions that will be responsible for all these things. What this will teach you is how you can have multiple functions, and then you can call what you need. Look at the task that we are being given to do. You want to be able to withdraw, you want to be able to deposit. So there should be a function that says, deposit. There should be a function that says create account. There should be a function that's, all these things should be functions, and you should be able to just call them when you need them. The reason why you are here is to solve problems and to have solutions to problems. Let's take them one after the other, the requirement, and then have it somewhere at the back of our memory so that by the time we're implementing, we know what we're doing. Also, I'm going to, be asking you guys questions so that we make the class more interactive. And this is also an assignment, so I will not finish it today. I will just pick the easy ones and I will allow you guys to do the major ones. And I will also want you guys to ask me a question to help you guys with Expo so that you will know how you are going to do that. Now, one of the major things that you will realize is that we will be updating information. What that means is that, we have dictionary of bank accounts. So it means, your bank account, you'll be able to update the balance by depositing. So it means we'll be doing a lot of things on the dictionary. As opposed to the quiz that we did, we are just reading information from the quiz. Remember, in this case, we are not just only reading, we are adding to the dictionary and then we are updating. I want to help you guys with the entry of the system. And what I mean by entry of the system is that how the system will start. So this application should have that kind of splash screen or an intro to ask you what you want to do. So that will be like a control flow of our application. So instead of you just hitting, let's go and create bank account. So you need to now start thinking of the whole project, not just like after one particular task. There need to be a kind of screen whereby the system will say, choose one of the things you want to do. So based on your decision that you make will determine the flow of the program. And you should be able to go back and say, oh, okay, let me start from the beginning again. So, but I'm going to be using, loop to loop through it. Loop that will never end until you decide that you want it to end. While true. So this while true means that, true is true. So this program will always run until I decide to end it. Remember, to go out from a loop, you use break. So this guy is going to be our saving grace. So this is what you will use to exit this loop. So while true, let me break so that in case we run the code, it will not be running forever. So I will break here, but there's a condition that we will need to break for. So while true, let's print to the user so that the user will see the awesomeness of our application. Welcome to the banking app. And the next thing is you want to tell the user to start performing operation. I can say one is to create a new account. To save time, I will just jump to the last one, and which is I will say 2 for exit for now. We can always change these numbers and you code what it is that the user has specified. So 2 for exit, 1 is to create bank account. We've not done any programming. What we've just done is that we just want to present this to the user. Now, you want to be able to collect the user's choice. So how do you collect the user's choice? So you can say option is equal to, we know all this one, guys. So we want the person to put numbers, so I can convert what the person is putting in as number and say the input is enter your choice. I can say here, what will you like to do today? Well, I want to show you how the system will break down. So if I have this and I can say, let me call this choice. So if I remove this break here, so meaning I now have a way to collect the user's input or to accept, we already now have whatever the user will type here. So we can then check that if choice is equal to 2, remember that 2 is what we are looking out for here. Whenever choice is equal to 2, what should happen? It should break the system. So let me just say else. If 2 was not selected, I would say invalid option or selection, invalid selection. Okay, so let's give this a try. So if you run this, it gives you this. It starts from the beginning. Okay, maybe you don't want to be saying welcome to banking app every time. So you might just say, we might just put this one on the top of the program and stay here. So that will show once the application starts, that will show, and then it should be repeating what you want to do and the choice every time. So now it's giving me the option. You can see where I can put my option on the top to say what it is I want to put. So I'll put 1. So if I put 1, you can see that it says invalid selection. The reason why I say invalid selection because I've not programmed what 1 should do. I'm just, what I've programmed to do is 2. So if I also do anything, if I do 6, obviously it's still going to tell me invalid selection. So this is the app we've built, guys. So if I say 2, what will happen? It will terminate my app. So my app has exited. So you want to also exit gracefully to say something and say bye-bye or something. Thank you for using our wonderful app. So I'll just say, if it's 2, I'll just say bye. Let me just do bye there. So I'll just put this one invalid selection so that if someone selects something that is invalid, and this is preparing, remember what I told you guys, we are preparing our app. So you have to think of the whole thing as a structure. Exit the program is done. So how do you create account? So all your information are going to be in a dictionary. That's the person's bank account. And we can think of various structure that you will want to use. So let's first create that account. It's just a variable. So this is the account and it's saved with a dictionary. Nothing is there by default. Remember that this is just a small app. Normally, if you were doing in a very robust system, it's not going to be like this because the data is going to be coming from a database. It already contains data. So here, every time you refresh your app, it will clear, the data. So we are not saving all what we are doing to a database or to a storage. This, what you are doing here, is a memory. So this is a memory stuff. By the time we start MySQL, you will see how we can push all our information to the database and how we can retrieve it and continue from where your app stops. Okay, how do you structure this? Knowing that we are gonna have account number and they say it must be unique, right? Obviously, everybody's account number is unique. Account name, which can be duplicate because people can have the same name. And finally, we have balance. We already know that it's gonna be a dictionary. So how are we gonna hold the information? So for example, if I have colors and I want to store colors, I know I can store colors in a list, red, green, like this. This means storing colors. So what we're asked to do is that we are asked to store account number, account name, and balance inside account dictionary. How do we structure it? That's the question. You have to understand the data structure before you start coding. Do you get? If you do not know how your data is going to be arranged, you will not really make headway. Inside there, you just be confused. So you should already know, oh, okay, this data is in a dictionary. Just look at how we did the quiz. You know that in the quiz, we needed to understand how data need to be saved before we could make headway. Without you structuring your data, you will not be able to really make sense of your program. Before you start, I agree and say, okay, we've already passed the stage of knowing the kind of data to store. We know that it's going to be a dictionary. Now that we know that it's going to be a dictionary is like this. And having unique what? They have unique keys. Do you get? So this one alone is your account number. Because it's going to be unique, so it's a best position for it to have your account number. So this part is solved. The part for account number is solved. So we have account name and balance. How do we capture account name and balance? Oh yeah, account name and balance. How do we capture account name and balance? So is that in a list or what? How would that be? Is it list, set, tuple? What will it be like? So you want it to be like this. So you should now be able to think, how do I update the information I'm about to put here? Because yeah, this is a dictionary and then this is a set. So this will not work, right? Because remember that you cannot update a set. What other method? So the best way to do it is using another dictionary actually. So this one will be what? This can be account name, and I can call this James, and then I will now call this one balance, and I'll put 0 there. This is the way you are going to structure. You are going to be adding things. So put this in your mind. I'm going to comment this one out so that we have it and say, oh, okay, this is what we are looking at. So your structure of this person will look like this. So if you want to add new person, it's just to have something like this. So this is how new person will be added. So this account of one person, this account of another person. Of course, having unique numbers. So that way you can check, oh, what's the account balance of 001115? You know, you will now be able to navigate and check the balance. So this is a comment just for you to see that, oh, this is how this is going to go. This is just what we're going to put it there as a comment so that it's going to be helping us to shape the idea of, okay, inside this we have this, you know, inside this we can be able to get the balance and get the value. So we have dictionary in a dictionary. Let's now initialize our account because the variable needs to exist. Okay, now that you've done that, set the choice to 1 because we only did choice 2. Let's now do choice 1. So remember your elif. So we're going to use elif there. I want to make it orderly 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to change this to 1 and I'm going to come back to that guy. I'm going to write my elif here. Choice is equal to 2 so that I can do the proper termination here so that our choice for 1 can always be here. Remember, when you are doing 1, you are not breaking the loop. You still execute your 1 and allow the system to ask the user for next operation. So you are not really breaking. The only time you stop the program is when the person says it's done. So even when you create the account, the system will still ask you what you want to do. What do you want to do next? Right. Now that you've decided that you say 1, so the system should be able to ask you some things. Just 2 things to create an account. You need an account number and account name. So we will now say, we'll create a variable to say account name is equal to input and say enter account name. And the next thing we'll also say enter account number. So random. So let's import the random guy. So if we do random, where is that guy? So I want 1000 to 9000. Then I want to do one weird stuff. I want to convert it to string and I want to do zfill 10. So let me show you what this one does so that I can then use this guy. So if I run this, do you notice what you have here? So once you do something like this, you can see that zfill. Zfill is a string operation that fill up your string with 0. So if I say it should generate something like this for me, it fill it up with 0 so that I have 000 something something something. Okay, that's by the way. The next thing I want to do is that after I must have finished, I will now create a function that says create account. I've not created the function. No, I've not created the function. I'm just in the preparation. I already know the way the function should look like. The function should look like I should be able to pass in my account dictionary because I need to manipulate that dictionary. Passing my account dictionary like this, and that's the accounts of the entire bank. This is the account of the entire bank. And I should be able to now add the account number and also the account name. So this function is accepting 3 parameters, guys. I've not created that function, so don't get confused. I've not created the function, which I'm going to go and create the function now. So the function is to what? Create account, and is to accept the account of everybody. And the reason for accepting the account of everybody is that I'm going to be injecting the account name and account number inside the account. That's the purpose of this. I've not written that code yet. In fact, if you run it now, it's going to give an error because there's nothing called create account. So what I'm about to do now is this is just to, and you could decide any method you want to use. You could say, no, you don't want to use that approach first. You want to first write the function, then later you do it. Let's go ahead and define this function. I can just copy the whole thing and replicate on top so that I don't forget which one is which. I just copied the whole function now, or the function call. This is a function call. So I need to go and declare the function. So I will start my call here. And remember how you need to start with def, create function, then everything is already here. I can change the name so that I won't conflict them with this one here. So I can call this ACC. Now this is the main account, ACC. Then I call this account number, and I call this ACC underscore name. Remember, you can use data type, to say what all these guys are. So you can say this is a dictionary. You can specify that this is a string and what have you. You can specify all those information. And we're not returning anything. Okay, guys, I'm just going to return just to say we finished the program. I want to add one more option to this. You should be able to print, see the database of all the accounts in the system. Okay, let's go to the function and do the needful. So what we want to do here is we want to insert into what? Into our dictionary. How do you add to your dictionary that we have there? You can do that by just simply doing your dictionary and specifying a key. To specify a key, you use this method. Remember, this is how you were able to get the quiz when we're doing this. You use the dictionary and brackets to get the key. So the key we are trying to set is with the account number. Remember, guys, that's why I did this, so that you can be referencing and seeing what it is you are doing. So you use this and specify this. That's what this has done. But we need to equate it to something. So what do we need to equate it to? We equate it to a dictionary that we can create on the fly. Okay, what does that mean? We can create a new dictionary by doing this. And by saying, oh, okay, this dictionary should have, remember the name we want to call it. We want to use account name. I'll use underscore instead of dash. Yeah, let's use dash. So I want to create account name. Account name should be equal to, remember, this is the dictionary. We have key and then we have value. What should be the value? The value should be the account name. So we then have this set like this. Don't forget your balance. Your balance by default should be 0. If somebody open an account, we have a balance of 0. So how do you set the balance part of this? You just use balance and the value should be 0. Change this to name, account name, and then balance. So let's send this, let's tell the user that we've created that successfully. So we can say account created successfully. So if you now go to the program and see, we should be able to see this. Let's run this, guys. If I do this, he asked me what I want to do. I said I want to create an account, and we do 1, and it's asking me enter account name. Account name is James, and then it's done. But now it's asking me to escape. I'm done with the program. I want to run 2. So account created successfully came up, but now I want us to be able to print all the accounts, even though that's not part of the that's the one I just added. Now we should be able to print all account balances. So I want to enter like more than one account details, so that at the end we can print it, so we'll see the information, because the system ended without showing me anything. So we should be able to have that information without system just terminating on us. Okay, so let's go ahead and have that information there. So that would be the second option. Or yeah, second option. In fact, yeah, that would be the, just try to push this option down, down, down. So this will be 3. So the second option will print all accounts. Print all accounts. So let's move our options down. So I will duplicate this so that I can have this become 3 and this one becomes 2. It's 2 like that. We are not breaking. So we're just printing accounts, nothing special. We're just printing accounts. And I can just say something on top, all bank accounts. And I can create kind of a space. So I can use line break. That's what they call line break, or new line. So I think I should add it to this one as well, so that it will stop grouping the whole thing together. Let's test this and see what we have. So you can see the space that we have, that we added. So that's why we have the line break. It has created line break for us. And let's create bank account. So we choose one option. So the first person, we have James. So accounts created successfully. So it's not asking me again to present another choice. So we still say 1. So let's create Michael. And we now have Michael again. So let's have another choice. Let's have a lady. Let's say Jane. And let's now say our option now is to print all bank accounts. So we say 2. So if we have 2 there, you should be able to see that from there. Unfortunately, it scrolled all my content. Let me make it come up pretty, since we have that there. So let's quickly write another function to do this. So I can just say the function I want to call to create this is, I'll say print bank account. Then I'll put in my account there. Again, I've not created this function, so I'll go back and create it. And how will the function look like? I will have it this way, and I'll have this. It's also a dictionary, and it's not returning anything. It's just doing a bunch of printing. So let's go ahead and do the printing. So the printing is going to come out. I want it to come out in form of a table. So let's say we have print. Now let me say account number. Then I want to have account name. Then I want to have balance. So that we should be able to loop through what we have in a dictionary for A in accounts. What do we want to do? We want to print individually, which is good here. Then the next thing is what? The next thing is our account name, which can be accessed from here and A and name. So because this is another string, I will just use this. Remember guys, we already did this before. So this one is the dynamic part, which is the A, while the name is this name here, and it will give us James or whatever is there. Then finally our balance, I just replicate the same thing that we have here and put a space, and then I should have balance there. Okay, so if we run this, we should have a more better view than what it is. So let me just quickly put one value and see what I have there. Like this. So guys, look at what we have. All bank accounts is being rendered this way.